Okay, 3, 2, 1, boom. This is an explosive dispatch. For Energy Boom 101, you're seeing what's happening here. You are looking through the lens. Look at this, beast. You're looking through the lens that's been polished by the optimism of oil and the compassion of cannabis. And it's a confluence that's happening right here at Boom U. Holy shit, the special effects are incredible. Anyway, welcome to Energy Boom 101. I think this is probably dispatched from the patch 597,212, but we're going to call it dispatch from the patch 3. We're going to change the numbers all the time, but we're going to keep it as a dispatch from the patch. We've trademarked that. Don't try and mess with it. Speaking of trademark, the attorneys for GMX told me that I have to say this slogan every time the bells of Boom U ring. So prepare yourself, because they are going to ring. And you will ask not for whom they toll. You'll simply listen to their tone. Anyway, big news going on. Well, not really, but we're going to do a shameless promotion of this, the greatest newsletter ever, The Boom. It's more of a birdcage liner, folks, than anything else. But it's an attempt to share the story of what we think is happening right frickin' here at Boom U. There's an energy center. There's the original Sarkey's Energy Center. Great story on that. We'll do a dispatch on that sometime. We're doing a scan spin here, and there's the Hotel California shot of Boom U, and then there's the Hobo U shot of Boom U, and this is basically a panoramic view of Boom U, which is booming, started a few years ago, and will continue to boom, and we guess there's going to be some buildings that you'll see erected. No pun intended, that was too easy. But back to the shameless promotion of the Boom. The greatest newsletter ever. As you can see, we actually use staples on this one, so we're going old school with our technology. And let me just show you what we got here. Look at this. Boom! There's a gusher. Here's an article about downtown Norman and how the boom is in bloom. And there's an editorial by, believe it or not, Richard Nixon. I can't believe it. He came back from the dead. Here is a page dedicated to the green boom, which is the marijuana boom. There's a little overview of the marijuana story on Wall Street and how it's in a mania. Here's a review of a specific strain of marijuana by a leprechaun, of all people. And then here's a Wall Street overview of the Gusher of the Week, which is the company publicly traded that's making a shitload of money via its cannabis interests. And the Bloodbath of the Week. And when you have marijuana mania, you're going to have a lot of companies go bust. And there's one getting ready to happen, perhaps. Anyway, then we've got this nice color photo layout of a bunch of different postcards around Oklahoma. Oklahoma culture is unbelievable. We want to highlight that. Then we zip over here and see, holy shit, we see all the plays that are currently being investigated in the United States, which is why there's a big boom going on. This page talks about that energy boom in the United States, as well as some Oklahoma energy plays. We call it the red, white, and blue renaissance. We've tried to trademark that, but I think Harley-Davidson stopped us. We talk about liquefied natural gas. Oh shit, we even got a page just for Boom U. A page just for this lovely university. We're hoping they can keep up with us here. We know that the Boom U newspaper broke a big story. We call it the Scoop U newspaper. Boom U's newspaper is Scoop, the Scoop, and they broke a huge story on CVS coming to campus, which is a big, I would call that a boom spot. And let me repeat this. CVS Pharmacy is going to take up 5 storefronts that direction. That's a huge boom collapsing on Campus Corner. Also, interestingly enough, they may be offering these classes at Boom U next semester. Philosophy 101, Texting and Driving, Finance 101, the Emerging Cannabis Community, and Psychology 101, the Smartphone. Talk about some crazy shit. Here's another gusher, by the way. Then we switch over here and we do this lovely story about Carl Icahn being, is he behind Anadarko's recent $5 billion fine by the EPA? Hell yes he is. It's all public. It's all black and white. Read the damn paper and you'll find out. It's not a paper, it's a newsletter. We talk about GE's oil and gas capture going on with Chaparral Energy. Chaparral Energy is a Oklahoma publicly traded company, by the way. Oh shit. Those are the bells, my friend. Asking not for who they toll. And, oh shit, that was a short toll. So we're going to, the lawyers told me that every time the bells toll, we have to give you a new slogan. And here's one. Illuminating the chasm between brain and being, one gusher at a time. That's the transparent barrel. And we're going to finish off this back page. Here's the Symphony of Shale. which is dedicated to all the Oklahoma oil men and Oklahoma oil women, if any of them show up. We'd love to see a few. This first one is the Symphony of Shale. We're hoping to get Boom U's School of Music, actually. We're hoping to commission Boom U's School of Music to perform the American Energy Partners in G Sharp, led by guest conductor Aubrey McClendon. Holy shit. We'll see. We'll see. The back page, perhaps the most explosive aspect as far as what can be done with franchising, is the Global Energy Rainbow, which is a nice, big, huge overview of how the Global Energy Rainbow works. We're going to give you a better look at that right now by going inside the studio of the Transparent Barrel and giving you just a quick overview of the Global Energy Rainbow. Bear with me. We're swinging inside here. So this happened a few years ago. Oh, this was, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe 4, 3. Hell, I don't know. Let's turn down the stereo unless Boston comes on, then we'll turn it back up. Those, by the way, are Stewie's head. Apparently he was involved in the energy game somehow. There he is, that diabolical little rascal. But anyway, check out what you got here. This is a Global Energy Rainbow taking shape. So about 3 or 4 years ago, the rest of the world started sending all their money to the United States. Look at this. China. Tons of money coming in. China's very aggressive, by the way, with their capital. Shocker. Check it out. We had, I think we have Japan was sending some money in. I think Norway was sending money in. I think France was sending money in. I know South Korea was sending some money in. And guess what? It was all coming to the United States. Now, the only people I could track would be the Oklahoma company. So it all came landing in lovely little Oklahoma City because companies like Chesapeake, Devon Energy, Sandridge, a few others signed what's known as joint ventures, which simply means they take a bunch of money from the foreign companies to help them explore the North American shale plays for 2 really simple reasons. By the way, this works every time in Vegas. 2 very simple reasons. 1, they want some of that oil coming out of the ground because they need it. And 2, they want to know how to get that oil out of their own ground eventually. It's a game. Everyone knows it. Now, this little area right here, this United States, North American shale, we're going to spin you right over here and have you check out this map. Now, this has been approved by the I think it's the International Energy Agency approved this. They said the map was good because it's a great shot of Hank Ham. Look at that beautiful SOB. That may be the happiest SOB you'll ever see. Why? Because he's going nuts on the Bakken. The Bakken is one of many plays throughout the United States. They're all basically shale plays. There's a few that are non-shale. They're conventional. The good old Permian Basin, the Mississippi Lime in Oklahoma. But the rest of them are big shale plays, and they're all being unlocked right now. And all plays in the United States basically go through 3 phases. That'd be 3 phases. The first thing they do, works every time in Vegas, the first thing they do is the oil companies go into a play and they use the science to crack the code. So quite a while ago, Hank Ham went into the Bakken and he used all the science he could muster to crack the code of that shale so it would become productive. So phase 1 is the science phase. That's already been completed in the Bakken. Phase 2 is production, when they start actually getting oil out of the ground and they see how much they can get out of the ground. And then if they can get enough out of the ground for it to be profitable long term because they hedge it and everything else that goes on in the game, then phase 2, which is production, becomes phase 3, which is a factory. The Bakken is basically now considered an oil factory. So that is a quick overview of how all these different plays in the United States are going to go through 3 phases. Some of them are in the 3rd phase and they're an oil factory like the Bakken. Or the Eagle Ford down in Texas, an amazing, amazing little play that came on the scene a few years back. A lot of it is a light sweet oil that amazingly enough gets shipped up to Canada, believe it or not, mixed with the Canadian sands, and then brought back down to Houston's refineries. Unbelievable global game going on, kids. It's crazy. It's fun to try and keep up with, but it's almost impossible. But there's the Eagle Ford, and that's pretty much, I think it's probably already in the phase 3 of being a factory play. Now, a lot of phases, interestingly enough, are still in the science, or pardon me, a lot of plays are still in the science phase. And here's one of the best names out there for plays, and that is the Tuscaloosa Marine Shale. This is in the science phase pretty much, maybe a little bit of production. Check this one out. Monterey out in California, probably still in the science phase. Look at Oxy to be working that one over. I think the Niobrara up in Colorado, science/production. The Permian is old school. There's no science there. It's just a stacked play. It's just a matter of how much frickin' oil and money they want to pull out of the ground out in the Permian. By the way, Midland, Odessa is booming like you can't imagine. Get your ass out there. It's unbelievable. In Oklahoma, we've got quite a few plays. I don't know if any of them are still in the... You know what's still in the science phase probably? It's the Woodford. Maybe in the production. But in Oklahoma, you got some old plays. Now, the Woodford Shale is a shale play down deep that is not only being played by Continental in the south part of the state called the Scoop, South Central Oklahoma Oil Province. I'm sure they paid an ad agency a lot of money to come up with that. That's Hank Hams. Aubrey McClendon, you remember him. He now has American Energy Partners. He's got the CNOW, which I'm guessing is the Central Northern Oklahoma Waterford, but that's just a guess on my part. And then Devon's also drilling into the Woodford. I said Waterford. I meant Woodford. I apologize. Devon's drilling into the Woodford. So there's a Woodford shale in Oklahoma that's probably in its science phase. There's a Mississippi lime play that Tommy Ward and Sandridge just bought about 2 million acres. That's another long story. We'll get to that later. Because we're already at 11 minutes past the hour here, kids, on K-Rig. It's good to have you back. We'll be playing probably some Thin Lizzy pretty soon. Probably the Cowboy song. That Mississippi lime in Oklahoma is not a shale play. It's an old school play, but they're just rejuvenating it with horizontal drilling. So there's probably science there, but it's not heavy. Some of these other plays are natural gas plays, the Barnett. They've already gone through the science, and they got the production, and then they became such factories that the damn price of natural gas collapsed, which is a glorious reflection of just how efficient North American energy companies are at uncracking the shale for gas. Now, will they do the same for cracking oil shale? Sort of looks like it. And then what's that going to do to the global energy rainbow, which is right here, our third map? Well, it's going to disrupt it. It's already disrupting it, and that's the glory. We've already said this, and we're going to stick by these guns. North American shale, natural gas and oil shale, is going to disrupt this glorious global energy rainbow the same way that, prepare for this, kids, this is huge, North American marijuana production will disrupt North American medicine, including pharmaceuticals and the health industry. And the disruption will be very, very good, because it will probably drop prices on a lot of things. We hope it creates a lot of efficiencies, but more than anything else, we hope it creates a healthier world, which, interestingly enough, is probably what's going on right now with energy, because North America is actually reducing their consumption of oil. Now, the rest of the world is increasing their consumption of oil. Good for us, because they're going to buy it from us. But we're reducing our consumption of oil, and we're increasing our use of natural gas. And we'll probably export that out to the rest of the world. So here in about 50, 100, 200, 5 million years, who knows, maybe 3 years, we should have a cleaner, healthier planet based on the red, white, and blue renaissance in energy, as well as green energy, folks. Don't discount the fact that the whole marijuana mania on Wall Street, which is clearly an indication of an enormous sector getting ready to emerge, could create more wealth in the United States than energy. Now, I seriously doubt that, but that would be a great thing to happen. Anyway, we've got some Triumph on the radio, which is pretty incredible. We'll probably leave you with that. We just wanted to give you a nice overview of what's going on, and not only the world, but the United States, in particular, of course, Oklahoma, and then finally right out here to Boom U, the center of the global energy rainbow, some would argue. I would say it's definitely one of the leading universities in the world for energy, and I suspect it's a matter of time before that's official in some way, because over here somewhere, right over there is old President Barnes' house, and he's the president of Boom U, and he's on the board of directors of Continental Resources, and Continental is a very successful domestic oil company. Interestingly enough, though, they never signed any joint ventures. That's really interesting, and we may get into that later. We're about out of time. We're going to do the patented back pole camera. We were taught this by Alfred Hitchcock. You can see the shrink. We're going to get all the way back to Triumph, laid on the line, one of the greatest songs ever. And we're going to let you gaze upon Shit, I don't know. It's something bad. We're almost at 15 minutes, so we're finished with this dispatch. We'll see you in about 27 years. 3, 2, 1, boom.